I'm Peter, and I'm the Mighty Eagle and CMO, so kind of like the marketing guy at Rovio. We're making games, so we made Angry Birds, but then we also expand into a lot of other areas. So we're really building the brand of Angry Birds. So we have animation, we make books, we have a lot of consumer products, so everything from toys to soft drinks, and we're building parks. Rovio actually got started as a company 10 years ago in 2003, and it started actually out of a game making competition that I organized. So I happened to be working at HP and then organized this competition. Niklas and two of his friends, they were students at the Helsinki University of Technology. So then they actually took part, they created this game called King of the Cabbage World, and they won the competition. And after that they came to me and said, okay, now what? And then I said, okay, why don't you start a company to make games? And they started Rovio in 2003. And then, 51 games later, Angry Birds. So Angry Birds was actually the 52nd game, and that came out 11th of December 2009, which, it's now like the global Angry Birds Day. I think that a lot of those games were actually really great games, but I think that the market changed and we did a lot of those were like work for hire. We made games for EA, for Nokia, for a lot of people, and back then it was very difficult to kind of distribute games directly to the fans. So again, we have a lot of games there that were very successful. We made this Bound series of games for Nokia. That game is on more than 200 million devices, but again, kind of wasn't like a great business to make games for others. And then what happened that the app stores happened, and we could distribute games directly to the fans, and that was kind of like what was the whole thinking behind Angry Birds, that okay, let's make games for the iPhone, for the app stores, until we have a hit game and then take that everywhere. And that's actually kind of like with Angry Birds, that it all started with really looking at what it takes to make a hit game, and then Jaakko Iisalo, one of our game designers, drew the bird characters, had a very different game design, but everybody kind of fell in love with the characters and that we have to make a game around the birds, and we did. Angry Bird, the game itself, I mean, we really spent a lot of time polishing every little detail and getting everything right. I mean, we did something like 30 different designs for just the app icon. So I mean, but then it wasn't kind of like a huge success immediately, but this was kind of like back in 2009 in Finland, not many iPhones, so we kind of like told friends and family that okay, why don't you download Angry Birds, and okay, went to #1. Then went to #1 in Sweden, then Apple kind of like saw that something was happening, they featured us in the UK, in the US, and we kind of went #1 there in kind of like the spring of 2010. And then kind of like what was interesting is that we stayed #1, so we really kept the game fresh, as we kind of like do today as well, that we constantly keep putting out new updates, get people coming back to play the game. So we stayed #1 for like more than 300 days, which was much longer than any game before us. The success of Angry Birds, it's not like just one thing, but it's really a combination of many things. And I think that's kind of true for a lot of success stories, that it's not like one thing that you can kind of like point out and this is what you need to do, but it's a combination. And in the Angry Birds case, of course, it starts with the characters, so everybody loves the birds. But then it's also a question of timing. So it was also one of the first games that was really built for touch devices, like the iPhone. So that's something that's very important. Again, great characters, great gameplay, very easy, very approachable. So I think that's something that is very important, that it's a game that is very easy for like even 2-year-olds to pick up, but it's very difficult to put down. So you have that kind of like addictiveness built in there as well. And then I think what I always say, that if you're kind of like serious about making games, you also need to be serious about marketing. So that's one thing that we also kind of like really think about the whole picture. Making great games, making great marketing. So you need to kind of like not only make the game, but also make sure that people know about the great game. To make great games, to make great products, I mean, I think very important that you should always do what you love to do. So if you love making games, why not make games? And then it's like there's this very good saying that if you love what you do, you will not have to work a single day in your life. And I think that this is something that's very important. And if you look at Angry Birds and like all our games, you can really see that the games are made by people who are passionate about what they do. They love making games, and that's something that you hopefully can see in the games themselves. So I think that's something that's very important, not only in games but in kind of like anything you do, that do what you love to do.